Most men think she picks the guy who has the best looks, the best job, the biggest muscles, the smoothest lines, or the flashiest lifestyle. They really believe women run calculations like a machine. Who has more? Who offers more? Who looks better on paper? But the truth is far more difficult to swallow. Because the real reason she chooses one man over another isn't logical. It's emotional, subconscious, and deeply biological. And most men never figure this out because they're too focused on external competition, while the man she actually chooses is playing a completely different game. She doesn't pick you because you're perfect. She picks you because of something she feels when she's around you, something she can't fully explain, something she tries to hide, and something she'll never admit to anyone, not even her closest friends. It's not your charm. It's not your confidence. It's not your money. It's not even your masculinity. What pulls her toward you is a psychological signal most men overlook. You create an emotional safety that feels exciting, not familiar, and a mystery that feels comforting, not threatening. This combination is extremely rare, and you'll see why in a moment. When a woman meets a man who gives her emotional presence without emotional dependence, who shows interest without attachment, who stays grounded while she tests, pushes, pulls, and questions, her body and mind interpret him as a man who has survived life, mastered himself, and cannot be controlled. That's when attraction becomes something different. Not cute, not fun, not nice, but undeniable. And once she feels that, every other man becomes noise. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. She's not choosing the best man. She's choosing the man who makes her feel the safest to be soft and the most excited to surrender. Most men don't realize that this is not about dominance or intimidation. It's about the emotional energy she senses from you, the calm that makes her trust, the silence that makes her lean in, the boundaries that make her respect you, and the detachment that makes her wonder if she has truly earned a place in your life. And the moment she feels that dynamic shift, the moment she sees that you are not competing with other men, you are competing with your own potential, she will choose you over any guy with more status, more money, or more options. Because women don't fall for who looks the best. They fall for who feels like truth. Today, I'm going to reveal the real reason she picks you. The hidden psychological markers that trigger her deeper instincts. The emotional tests she uses to separate men who are boys from men who are irreplaceable. And the secret masculine energy that makes her feel chosen even when you say nothing at all. Before we start, a quick reminder. The real transformation doesn't happen on YouTube. It happens inside the community. If these videos have opened your eyes, what's inside will rebuild your mindset completely. It's not just a course, it's a brotherhood. A private space where men master attraction, emotional control, and the psychology of power. You don't join for a month, you join for life. Every future course, book, and lesson is yours forever. No subscriptions, no limits, just one decision that changes your direction. If you're serious about growth, discipline, and purpose, click the link below. Join the community. Enroll once, grow forever. Let's dive in. Section 1. The hidden emotional frequency. She feels before she chooses you. Before she chooses you over any other man, something happens in the very first moments she observes you. Something silent, something invisible, something she will never explain, even if you ask her directly. It's what psychologists call emotional frequency recognition, but women experience it more intuitively than consciously. This is the first filter, the deepest signal, and the real foundation of selection. And most men never realize they are broadcasting this energy long before they open their mouth. She isn't looking at your clothes, your car, or your appearance as much as she's feeling the tone of your presence. Women are neurologically wired to sense emotional tension, inner stability, and subtle confidence faster than men do. If your energy is restless, needy, searching for approval, or too eager to impress, she registers it instantly. And not with judgment, just instinct. Her brain tags you as predictable, safe but unexciting, or emotionally dependent. And those are the categories where attraction dies before it ever begins. But when a man walks in carrying a different emotional frequency, one built on self-control, quiet certainty, emotional independence, and the kind of calm that can't be faked for more than a few minutes, she feels it like a shift in the air. She doesn't know why she looks twice. She doesn't know why she becomes more aware of her breathing. She doesn't know why she gets slightly nervous or hyper-focused. She doesn't know why she suddenly becomes more feminine, softer, or more playful. She only knows one thing. This man doesn't need anything from me. And that makes me curious. That curiosity is the first gateway to attraction, and it's powerful because it bypasses logic completely. Most men try to win women with effort. The man she picks wins her with presence. Most men chase acceptance. The man she picks shows self-respect through silence. Most men try to stand out by performing. The man she picks stands out because he is unshaken by the situation. Her nervous system responds before her mind does. That's why the men who have something about them often can't even explain it themselves. Their energy communicates that they belong to themselves first. They're not auditioning. They're not adjusting themselves to impress. They're not afraid of losing her because they weren't trying to win her in the first place. They are simply being, and that is the most attractive masculine trait on earth. This is why a woman can reject men who seem better on paper, yet feel drawn to the one man who barely says a word. It's not a preference, it's biology. Her emotional radar prioritizes safety, stability, and emotional polarity before it considers anything else. And when she feels that frequency coming from you, every other man fades into the background. Section 2. Why your emotional independence makes you irresistible. If there is one psychological factor that separates the man she chooses from the men she forgets, it is emotional independence. Not coldness, not distance, not arrogance. Emotional independence, the ability to stay centered, stable, and grounded, regardless of her reactions, moods, or tests. This quality is so rare in modern men that when a woman encounters it, it feels almost mythical. She can feel the difference instantly, even if she doesn't fully understand it. Most men don't realize how heavy emotional dependence feels to a woman. When a man secretly needs her validation, her attention, her reassurance, or her affection to feel stable inside himself, she senses it immediately. It creates pressure on her nervous system, a silent weight that tells her, if I pull back, he falls apart. If I disagree, he becomes anxious. If I don't respond, he loses balance. Women do not choose a man they feel responsible for emotionally. They may care about him, they may feel sympathy, they may even feel attachment, but they will not choose him over other men. Why? Because a woman cannot be feminine next to a man who collapses emotionally. But when she meets a man who doesn't lean on her for emotional stability, her entire system relaxes. She feels safer, lighter, more feminine, and more open. Not because he ignores her, but because he stands strong with or without her approval. This is the man who holds his frame in conflict, stays calm when tested, speaks slowly instead of reacting impulsively, and doesn't crumble when she pulls back for a moment. This man becomes a rare emotional experience for her. A man she can't shake, a man she can't push around, a man she can't control. And here's the secret most men never learn. Women don't want control. They want influence. Influence only exists when the man is strong enough to resist being controlled. That is what creates the emotional polarity she craves. The feeling that she has to earn your attention instead of simply being handed it because you're afraid to lose her. Your emotional independence sends a subconscious message to her mind. This man chooses me because he wants me, not because he needs me. And that message is intoxicating. She realizes she cannot manipulate your emotions. She realizes she cannot predict your reactions. She realizes she cannot bend your identity to fit her desires. And that is when she begins choosing you more intensely than the men who offer their entire emotional world in exchange for a little affection. It is not your silence that attracts her. It is what your silence communicates: self-respect, stability, and emotional control. These qualities create a gravitational pull that other men cannot compete with, because they are playing the game of persuasion while you are playing the game of presence. Section 3. The secret test. She uses to separate men who want her from men who can lead her. Before a woman ever chooses you over other men, she runs a silent, instinctive test, one she may not even realize she is performing. It is not a game, not manipulation, not cruelty. It is a natural psychological filter designed to reveal one crucial truth: whether you are a man who is led by his emotions or a man who can lead with his emotions under control. This test determines everything, and most men fail it without even knowing the test existed. The moment she senses potential attraction, her nervous system begins studying the stability of your behavior. Not your words, not your promises, but your consistency. Women are masters at picking up subtle emotional shifts. If your energy collapses when she withdraws, if your tone changes when she questions something, if your confidence cracks when she challenges you, she doesn't get angry. She simply sees the truth. And the truth is that you are not grounded enough to lead the connection. You want her, but your desire makes you reactive. You like her, but your emotions make you unstable. You care, but you care in a way that depends on her approval. This is the moment she quietly steps back. Not because she dislikes you, but because she recognizes that she would have to carry the emotional weight of the relationship. And no woman picks a man she has to carry. Now here's where the mystery begins. When she tests a man who is in control of himself, the dynamic shifts completely. She might delay a response, make a teasing comment, ask a difficult question, or momentarily pull her attention away. Not to punish you, but to see whether your internal world remains calm. A grounded man does not react with insecurity or frustration. He doesn't get defensive. He doesn't try to over-explain himself. He doesn't lose his presence. He simply stays the same, steady, centered, composed. This sends a powerful signal through her entire emotional system. I can relax with him. He can handle me. He can handle life. He can handle himself. This is why women often choose the man who seems unbothered over the man who seems more enthusiastic. It has nothing to do with arrogance. It has everything to do with emotional leadership. Women do not follow men who chase them. Women follow men who lead themselves. And here is the part most men underestimate. Every test she gives you is actually an invitation. An invitation to show her your emotional maturity. An invitation to show her your strength. An invitation to prove that desire does not make you lose control. If you pass, she doesn't just become interested, she becomes invested. The test is simple. Do you stay yourself when she challenges you, or do you become someone else? Because the man who remains himself becomes unforgettable. Section 4. Why her body trusts you. Before her mind does. Long before she admits she likes you, long before she analyzes your traits, long before she compares you to other men, there is something much deeper happening inside her. Her body evaluates your presence before her mind forms a single opinion. And this is where the real reason she chooses you is born. Not in attraction, not in logic, not even in desire, but in instinctive trust. A trust she cannot fake, cannot force, and cannot explain. A woman's nervous system is one of the most advanced emotional detectors on earth. It responds to danger, comfort, authenticity, and inconsistency with incredible precision. She may not intellectualize what she's sensing, but she feels it. This is why some men instantly relax her, while others instantly tense her. It's not about looks. It's not about status. It's about the emotional signals your presence sends to her subconscious. When a man carries unresolved insecurity, vanity, desperation, or suppressed anger, a woman feels it as tension. Her shoulders tighten. Her breath becomes shorter. She becomes more guarded. These reactions are not choices. They are physiological responses. Her body is telling her, something here doesn't feel stable. Something here doesn't feel safe. And once that message is received, it is almost impossible for her to choose that man, no matter how charming or impressive he tries to be. But when a man walks with a calm, grounded presence, something entirely different happens inside her. Her body softens. Her breathing deepens. Her voice warms. Her feminine energy naturally rises because she senses that she is no longer carrying the emotional responsibility in the interaction. She doesn't need to guide the moment. She doesn't need to protect herself. She doesn't need to analyze every detail. She can simply exist. And that experience is rare for her. Her body trusts you before her mind does, because your presence communicates stability. You are not trying to control her. You are not trying to impress her. You are not trying to escape yourself. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And that grounded certainty becomes the safest emotional container she has felt in a long time. This is why she chooses you, even if other men look better on the surface. Her body can't relax around them. Their presence triggers vigilance, comparison, or caution. But you trigger softness, curiosity, and a quiet sense of, I don't know why, but I feel good around him. That feeling is everything. It is the foundation of trust, desire, connection, and long-term emotional attachment. And here's the most powerful part. When a woman's body trusts you, her mind follows. She begins justifying her attraction logically, even though the decision was already made internally. She tells herself stories like, he's different, something about him stands out, or I feel comfortable around him. But these are explanations, not causes. The truth is simple. Her instincts chose you long before she did. Section 5. The moment. She realizes you're not competing for her. You're competing with yourself. There is a silent turning point in every woman's attraction, a moment when the entire dynamic shifts, often without a single word spoken. It's the moment she realizes you are not like the other men orbiting around her. Most men position themselves as contestants, hoping to win a prize. They chase, they negotiate, they try to outperform the next guy. They think the more effort they show, the more she'll choose them. But this mindset exposes a deeper truth. They need her approval to feel validated. When a woman senses that, she automatically puts those men into the category of emotional followers. Not because she dislikes them, but because she cannot follow a man who is already following her with his self-worth. Then she meets a man who is doing something radically different. He isn't trying to win her. He isn't trying to beat other men. He isn't measuring himself through attention, competition, or fear of losing her. His focus is inward. His competitor is himself. His ambition is not to convince her that he is worthy. His ambition is to continue becoming the man he respects. And this difference in intent is what changes everything. Women are profoundly drawn to men who live by inner standards rather than external rewards. When she sees that your motivation comes from identity, not insecurity, she understands something powerful. You are a man she cannot distract from his purpose. You enjoy her, but you don't need her to validate your masculinity. You like her, but you don't collapse when she pulls back. You appreciate her, but you don't abandon yourself to keep her. This is when attraction transforms into admiration. Because while other men fight for her attention, you fight for your growth. While other men fear rejection, you fear stagnation. While other men try to fit her expectations, you follow your principles even when it costs you connection. That is the behavior of a man she wants to choose. Not because he is the loudest, richest, or most charming, but because he is the hardest to influence without earning it. Your self-mastery shows her a future with clarity, not chaos. A future with direction, not confusion. A future with a man she can trust to lead, even when life becomes unpredictable. This is the emotional security women crave, and very few men offer it genuinely because very few men build themselves sincerely. When she realizes you are not competing for her, she feels something rare, the desire to earn a place in your world. Women do not desire men who chase them. Women desire men whose lives are already meaningful before a woman enters it. And once she sees that your value doesn't fluctuate based on her attention, she stops seeing you as an option and starts seeing you as a direction. That is the moment she chooses you, quietly, deeply, and with a level of commitment other men never receive. Section 6. The psychological shift that makes you the man she can't replace. Attraction may start with curiosity, tension, or instinct, but the moment she chooses you over other men happens when something far deeper occurs. A psychological shift where you stop being just a man she likes and become a man her mind cannot replace. This shift rarely happens through words or romance. It happens through consistency, emotional strength, and the silent way you carry yourself when situations become uncomfortable. And make no mistake, a woman pays closer attention to your behavior in moments of pressure than in moments of ease. When she sees how you handle disappointment, how you respond to disagreement, how you react when she pulls away, and how you hold your boundaries without begging or arguing, she begins to realize something quietly powerful. You are not like most men. Most men lose composure when emotions rise. Most men get reactive when they feel insecure. Most men chase harder when they feel distance. But you stay stable. You stay calm. You stay rooted in your identity. This is the moment she sees emotional leadership. And emotional leadership is the foundation of irreplaceability. Because here's the truth. A woman may enjoy many qualities in men, but she only bonds deeply with one type. The man who remains emotionally consistent in an inconsistent world. Modern dating is filled with fragile egos, impulsive reactions, and emotional volatility. When you stand out as the one who doesn't waver, doesn't panic, and doesn't fall apart, you become a rare psychological anchor in her life. And this is where a powerful transformation happens inside her. She starts imagining how you would handle the future, how you would handle conflict, how you would handle uncertainty, how you would handle her vulnerability. And every scenario ends the same way. She sees stability instead of chaos. For a woman, that is not just attractive, it is unforgettable. Another reason you become irreplaceable is your emotional neutrality. You don't rush into extremes. You don't cling. You don't withdraw as punishment. You don't play games. You respond with clarity, not insecurity. This creates a predictable emotional climate around you. Not boring, but secure. She doesn't fear disrespect. She doesn't fear abandonment. She doesn't fear emotional explosions. She can finally relax into her femininity because she feels balanced next to you. Most men think irreplaceability is about being the most charming, the most generous, or the most romantic. But none of those qualities matter without consistency. A woman remembers consistency more than promises. She remembers stability more than intensity. She remembers grounded presence more than loud declarations of love. And she will always choose the man who makes her feel emotionally safe over the man who only makes her feel excited. Your irreplaceability comes from this paradox. The less you depend on her emotionally, the more deeply she bonds with you. She chooses you because trusting you feels natural. Staying with you feels peaceful. Losing you feels costly. In the end, the real reason she picks you over other men has nothing to do with the surface-level qualities most guys obsess over. It's not your height, your looks, your muscles, or your charm. It's not the money you make or the car you drive. It's not how many compliments you give her or how loudly you declare your feelings. Those things may get attention, but they don't earn respect, and respect is the foundation of a woman's deepest attraction. She picks you because you offer something the modern world is starving for: emotional stability wrapped in masculine mystery. A presence she can't predict, but a strength she can trust. A calm that doesn't come from pretending, but from mastering your inner world. A silence that doesn't hide insecurity, but reveals self-control. A man who can want her without needing her, who can love her without losing himself, and who can walk away without bitterness if she cannot rise to his level. She picks you because your energy doesn't ask to be accepted. It invites her to rise. It challenges her to stay feminine, to remain soft, to feel safe enough to open her heart without fear of emotional chaos. She chooses you because your masculinity gives structure to her femininity, not by dominance, but by emotional leadership, the rarest form of leadership. Other men try to impress her. You make her feel something. Other men try to win her approval. You earn her respect by staying grounded. Other men follow her emotions. You lead with your own. And that is why she picks you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are whole. Not because you are the loudest, but because you are the clearest. Not because you chase, but because you attract through presence, self-control, and an unshakable identity. The truth is this: a woman chooses the man who gives her a psychological experience she cannot get anywhere else. When you remain calm when others panic, when you stay centered when others react, when you hold your standards when others abandon theirs, she realizes something powerful. She cannot replace you. Not because she cannot find someone else, but because no one else makes her feel the way you do. This is the deepest level of attraction. This is the level most men never reach. And here's the part most men never understand. Once a woman chooses you in her heart, every other man becomes invisible. She stops comparing. She stops testing. She stops exploring. She recognizes the difference between temporary excitement and lasting peace, and she chooses the man who brings peace every single time. You become the man she respects, the man she trusts, the man she reveals her real self to. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence earned it. And that is the kind of man a woman doesn't just choose once. That is the kind of man she chooses for life. Remember, knowledge means nothing without action. If you're ready to rise above emotion and lead with purpose, join the community today at the link below. Enroll once, grow forever.